Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Let's Play series. This is episode 5, and guys, today we are going to be continuing progress on the item storage. If you guys remember, in the last episode we built this entire building, and in this video we're going to be building all the shelves, and then filling it up with loads of crazy items. It's gonna look super cool. If you guys look, it's completely empty. And if you guys remember, I showed you loads of items that we already had to stock up. But yeah, with that said, let's jump straight into this video because I don't want to waste any more time. Alright guys, so I'm going to begin working on the shelves. I've gathered quite a bit of elm wood ready to fill in the blueprints for them. So I'm just going to put down a quick blueprint to make sure that it isn't one stud from the floor. I think 2 studs would be better as I'm going to be putting the ball gifts here. And that should be the correct size for those gifts. I'm just extending the shelves a little bit just so we have enough space, as I think we've got quite a lot of ball gifts. I'm just placing some more and copying the same design throughout this section. Alright, so since here has 1 stud gap from the floor, I'm just going to glitch the shelves into the floor to save some data size. You don't have to do this, guys, if it makes it easier for you, it's just an option. If you look closely, you'll see that 1 stud is going straight down into the floor. I believe this method makes it much more simpler to fill in with wood rather than using extra pieces and saving on data size. But anyways, I'm just going to get all these filled out. So let's tackle the other side of the shelves. I'm planning to keep the same design as the other side. However, instead of the bottom shelves being 2 studs high, I'm going to make them 3 studs high. This way we can fit bigger gifts here just in case we need more room. Okay, so I'm just adding a smooth wall corner into the corner of the room and doing the same thing with glitching it into the floor. Alright, so I'm simply extending the shelves, but I'll need to glitch the corner wall to add more walls inside. This will make it easier rather than using so many blueprints. Okay, that's looking good. So now we just need to work on the other side. Right, so for this side I'm planning to include all the vehicle gifts. These are quite large, so I'll need to add 4 studs between each one to ensure that they all fit nicely on the shelves. So for that I'm going to use bigger shelves, but first I'm going to organise all the little shelves as they're all going to be identical. Okay guys, so that is all of the shelves and it's looking pretty good. I've just basically copied all of the other size shelves since I think I'm going to be putting more smaller gifts down here. I'm just going to continue on the other shelves that I mentioned earlier. Before I place the shelves down, I'm going to place a 4 stud blueprint to make sure that everything is the same height and that the gifts can fit on the shelves. So now I've done that, I'm just going to extend the shelves across to the other side. Alright, nice, so that's all done. I think I've finished the shelves on this floor. I'm excited to actually start filling it all up with items. So I was actually thinking perhaps we could add some wedges to the shelves on the end here. This way they would curve into the wall instead of sticking out. It would create more of a smoother look. So for that I'm going to take these tiny 1/1/1 wedges to create that look. I think that's the look that I'm going for. Let me just fill in some blueprints and see how they look. Yeah, I think that's starting to look cool. I think I'm just going to copy the same on the other shelves. Alright, so let's get those filled in. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. I think that looks a lot more better. Okay, so let's start working on the shelves upstairs. So I've just noticed that this needs to be filled in. Here I mentioned in the stream last time that I was going to put a window here. So there I'm actually going to fill it all in with birchwood to match the rest of the storage. I'm just going to grab some of this birchwood just to make it easier to fill in. Alright, I'm just going to take this upstairs and start filling it in. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now that that's completed, I'll be needing to get a little bit of glass to fill in the empty space. Alright, so I've just filled it in with glass. That's starting to look really good now. So I'm just going to take this smooth wall and start creating some more shelves. And just making sure that there's enough room for items to fall down from the conveyor and not be in the way of the shelves. Right, I'm going to be adding quite a large gift here on the shelf, which is the big turkey gift. To make sure everything fits nicely, I'm going to be using bigger shelves. Okay, that's looking good. So what I'm going to be doing now is adding those corner walls into the corner of the room like I did downstairs. It seems like I'm out of wood upstairs, so I'm going to move this window and put some elm wood on the conveyor to get it travelling up to the top floor. Alright, that took longer than I expected. This is the final last piece, but I suppose it's a lot more quicker than taking 1 by 1 pieces up here. That's quite funny that they all just fall from the conveyor. If you guys didn't catch what I said before about this conveyor, it's basically designed to help us store things easily, so we can fill up the storage from upstairs without having to carry every single gift up the stairs. It's definitely helpful when we have small gifts, as it saves us a lot of time. But I'm just going to carry on filling these in, and then we can start working on the shelves. Alright, so over here I'm thinking we've already put down the shelves for the big turkey, so I'm going to put more shelves for food items over here, which will be turkeys as well as cans, bread and other food items. So I'm just going to go ahead and use skinny smooth walls for these shelves. Alright, so while those are going to get filled in, I'm going to get cracking on the other side. I'm basically going to copy what I've just done, but leave a big gap on the floor, just in case we have bigger gifts. I think I'm going to put the game gifts over here. So it looks like I can still fit a skinny smooth wall here, but as you guys can see, the corner wall will have to be glitched. So I'm just going to go ahead and glitch these out so I can then put the skinny smooth wall there. Okay, nice. These are all coming together nicely. Alright, so over here I'm basically going to copy the same as we've just done. I'm going to start the shelves here and then extend across to the other shelves we've just done. It looks like we've ran out of elm wood, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab some more. Alright, so hopefully that should be enough. I'm just heading over to the window, and like we did before, I'll load the wood onto the conveyor so it can travel up to the top floor. Why have you pressed B on it? I can't get in.
Come on.
I'm officially stuck. Anyways, now that we've got a little bit more wood, I'm going to continue working on these shelves. Over here, I'm just doing the same as the other side. I'm just raising the shelves off the ground so that way we'll have some extra room for bigger gifts if we need it. And then for the rest of the shelves, I'm going to copy the same design, leaving a 2-stud gap in between. Okay, that looks awesome. So now I'm just going to start on the shelves on the other side. So I think I'm going to make a little section here and basically copying the same as the other shelves, leaving a 2-stud gap. I'm going to add corner walls to each corner of this room and put shelves in between them. I'm also going to put some shelves either side of the wall. Alright, so all that is completed. I'm going to start on this side. Since some gifts don't come in boxes or gift form, I'm going to be making some glass containers to store them easier. So for that, I'm going to take these posts and start stacking them up on top of each other. I'm just using a blueprint to make sure that I can fit some 4x4 glass panes in between them. I'm just going to make another container next to this one and basically do the same. It looks like we've already ran out of wood, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some more. I've just filled all of the blueprints in, and I've also started making another container over here. I'm just adding some more posts ready to install the glass panes later. Alright, so now it's time to add the glass panes, so I'm making my way over to Fancy Furnishings to pick up some. So we've just made it back to the base. I'm just going to go ahead and take all the glass panes upstairs. I'm just putting some glass panes at the back of these containers to make sure that nothing falls through. Alright, so now that's done, I'm just gonna take some glass panes and create shelves in the containers to divide them up into 4 equal parts. So now all that's done, I'm just creating the sides of the containers using the glass panes. So it looks like my calculations was a bit wrong, so I'm just gonna go back to Fancy Furnishings to pick up some more. Since it is night, I can't go to Fancy Furnishings just yet, so I'm going to get some work done to keep myself busy until it's daytime. It looks like we've got plenty of wood left, so I'm just gonna put more posts to finish off the containers. Okay, that's finished, so let's fill these in. Alright, so those are finally done. Those are starting to come together very nicely. So it looks like it's starting to become daytime, so I'm just going to go over to Fancy Furnishings. Hopefully this should be enough glass. I'm just gonna do this exact same thing as I did earlier with the other container. Alright guys, I'm pretty sure all the shelves are finally done. I'm really looking forward to getting this stocked with loads and loads of items. I'm really pleased with the whole design of the shelves, and I'm so glad that I chose this colour. It looks absolutely awesome in the storage. But other than that said, I think it's finally time to stock the storage. And right now I am very anxious to actually start getting items onto these shelves because there's a ton of empty shelves and I just want to get items onto them, especially since there is a lot of trucks on this space. So first off, all we have is this truck full of random gifts. So it looks like we've got these ATV gifts that are absolutely perfect for these shelves. These are the vehicle gifts that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I absolutely love the ATV gifts because they're exactly 3 studs high and they just fit absolutely perfect on the shelves. It's actually exactly the same with all the vehicle gifts really. Even the snowmobile gift, it's still very easy to store because of the height. It looks like we've got a few ball gifts to store on the shelves as well as some axe gifts here as well. It looks like we don't have a lot of these axe gifts, so I think I'm just going to go and put them here. And then the ball gifts can go on the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on the shelves. Okay, so those are done. Let's put the ball gifts over here. Alright, so in this truck it looks like we've got 2 food items, so I'm just going to put those upstairs. Okay, and now we've got some candy items, which I think these would probably go here. Okay, so out of that truck, we've got the ATV gift, so let's just put that over here. These are the game gifts that needs to go upstairs, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I think we're down to another truck, so we're almost out of room for these ball gifts. I'm just going to fill the rest up and put these on the shelves. So a few of these items need to go upstairs. We've got the game gifts here and some pumpkins that I think I'm going to bring upstairs. While I'm here, I might as well just put the rest of these ball gifts on the shelves. Right, okay, so I think that these pumpkins are going to go upstairs. I don't think that I want them down here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put all these upstairs. Okay, let's get all these shelves sorted because these are creating a mess on the floor. I think I'm going to put the pumpkins over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that since this is quite time consuming. Alright, so I've just made my way downstairs just to do these bigger gifts, as the smaller gifts take such a long time and these will be so quick to do. That's the last one. These shelves are really coming together now. I'm heading outside to help load these food items onto the conveyor so it's easier to get them upstairs. So while a lot of food items are making their way through the conveyor, I'm just going to load these big turkey gifts onto these shelves. Okay, so time has gone on and I've added a lot more to the shelves downstairs. I'm tackling through another truck of random items. We've got these wobble gifts, which are personally my favourite, as I love how colourful they are when they're all stacked together. So on that note, I think I'm going to put them all here. Okay, so it looks like we've got one pumpkin down here, so let's just put that upstairs. And it looks like we've got a few axe gifts that needs to go onto these shelves. Oh, we've got another ball gift over here that needs to go on the shelf. Hopefully we can squeeze that in. Yep, there we go. Another axe gift. Some more candy gifts. And now we've got a big problem. Where are these pictures going to go? These pictures are absolutely massive and I don't even know where they're going to go. Oh, to be honest, they could actually go here. That could be quite a good idea. I'm thinking that if we move this floor, I could try and bring the pictures through here. And we could actually start stocking them here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So that took longer than I expected. It took so long to actually grab the pictures through the floor. But we got there in the end. We've only got 2, so I'm going to make a note that I'm going to trade a little bit more so we can have some pictures in the storage and the shop, because I don't think we've got any in the shop. I'm just going to carry on stocking all of these shelves with the items that we've got piled on the floor, creating a massive mess. We're all done, finally. We have a few duck gifts here, so perhaps we could move them to the other side of the storage. I'll store them here and I'll be back once that is all done. Okay, nice, that's all done. So it looks like we've got a few more things in this truck. We've got these cola bottles, which they're a pain to store on the shelves. That's why we made these containers, to store them a lot more easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring all these upstairs to store them all in the container. We just had to reload because there was a lot of gifts that was stuck to this truck. So once they're back, I'm just going to store all of these just so we have another empty truck. Alrighty guys, it's been a few days and as you guys can see, we've traded quite a few items. We were running low on some things in the storage that we had in the shop. These trucks are much more organised than the other ones that we had to deal with, so hopefully this will be a lot more quicker. Each item is actually in their own truck rather than having trucks that was mixed with items. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do first is do the same as earlier and load all of the gifts onto the conveyor, just to make it so much more easier rather than carrying every single gift up to the stairs. So I'll be back once that is all done. I think a few are still coming through the conveyor, but while they are doing that, I'm just going to load all these ducks onto this shelf. So yeah, this is going to be time-consuming process, but we'll get it done. Okay, so I've already started on the game gifts at the top. Now I'm just filling in these shelves down here, and then we can move on from there. Okay, so I'm finished with these. These are starting to get in the way, so I'm going to finish off filling them in here. Okay, so those are done. I'm just going to go ahead and carry on with the duck gifts. Alright guys, so we're down to the last few. These are starting to look awesome so far. Okay, can we actually fit this last one on the end? Oh, it's a bit of a struggle. Oh, okay, finally we got it in the end. Okay guys, so we're starting to get a pile down here, so I'm going to bring these all up and then carry on stocking them up where they are currently on the shelves. Okay, so this is the last one. It looks like that we could fit another one or two maybe in that gap. Okay, so the remaining gifts are these golden toilets, which is super nice. Let's go ahead and get all of these on the bottom shelves. I'm just placing down a floor to help put these bowling pin gifts on to make it a little bit easier to stock up the shelf. Oh my gosh, even though I keep making it full. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully stock these up easier. Right, okay, those are actually finally done. We could do with a couple more, so I'm just going to go and put some more on the conveyors. And I'm going to get some more gifts as well to stock these top shelves. Alright, so I've put about 10 on there, I think, roughly. So now I'm just going to get the other game gifts and start doing the same. Alright, there we go. That should be enough. I'm going to start stocking those up on the shelves. I'm starting to really love how full the shelves are getting. I love how the gifts make the storage room look so colourful. It's really starting to look awesome. Alright guys, looks like we've reached our limit for stocking up the shelves. We can't fit any more items onto them. I still have loads and loads of plenty of items in all of these trucks, but I'm planning to sell some to other players or keep them on another plot. That way we'll have backup just in case we run out in the future, especially if we're selling a lot in the shop. But anyway, talking about the shop, I haven't had a chance to show you all around in a while. I'm not sure if it's changed much or if it's still the same, but here's what it looks like so far. I'm really enjoying the shop right now. The colours are my favourite thing. I always love how bright and colourful everything is every time I do these episodes. I always look forward to seeing the shop. There's still a few gaps on the shelves that need filling in with items, and we will do that more into the episodes. It takes a while to trade with other players, especially if they don't have what you need. I have quite a lot, but there's still loads more that I need to trade. And there we go, that is all the shelves done, which means that we are done working on the storage. And oh my god, it looks awesome. Look at all these items, it is looking so cool so far. I really love how the storage has turned out. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it for all this episode. Thanks for watching the progress on the interior of this building. And since it was the entire point of this episode, I guess that will be the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't ask what my face is doing. I think it's just a weird update. But anyways, make sure you're tuned in next time because we're going to be working, of course, more on the base. We might have something completely different planned, so stay tuned for that too. It's going to be super awesome, so make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that episode. And with that, I'll see you in the next episode once it's out. See ya!